Alqubit, IT, as an expression of art. Alqubit, IT, as an expression of art.
Hello world, I'm back. Seven months. I'm super happy, and it is extremely hard to restart. Let's improvise. This video is the continuation of my last video that I have had 17th of April with some preview of what I have done about my color accuracy and how I have found a solution that is relatively low cost. There is no low cost in color calibration. Even the lower cost, it is expensive, but not the extreme high level that needs to be invested in order to have absolutely professional grade. This is not step-by-step guide. This is not a product promotion. This is my video, my life, and it is my solution that thanks for the fact that I have very long term background in electronics and system design, I have matched the solution that has reached the necessary quality level for what I need. It is not the best solution, it is not the worst solution, it is the solution that covers my requirements. And I want to share the methodology that in the broadcast and entertainment industry is called workflow, but it is methodology with strategy and execution. What is color grade and color accuracy? It is a language that you need to develop, absolutely need to develop, in order to begin to appreciate the quality and the entire new wave of expression that you reach much more sophisticated level. At the beginning I haven't seen the colors difference when I start, and when I got my first sensor, this beautiful sensor that is Display Pro of Calibrite, within 3 weeks constant tests, I have discovered a world that have 7 PC between laptops and everything. I have color calibrated everything, and I have discovered that certain nuance you can see and begin to understand only when you have the reference between monitors and how it is produced in also the delivery of your video. This is not a lesson about color grading. I don't want even touch this because it is only with this solution you can start to think about the color grading. And I will do a short overview of the top level solution that we all know. Let's see my improvisation, if you would. The top of the top monitor of the Sony, we all know it. We know different solutions. Everything is between 10,000-13,000 euros. Let's talking about in euros or dollars or whatever you want. But the right solution starts from there, 10,000, 30,000 and up. It is there is no shortcut about the intermediate solution with the Asus ProArt that has had the same panel as where am I here? The same panel as the FlandersScientific, but it is missing the connections, every aspect of the advanced workflow, all the functionalities, and it has only one HDMI input plus Thunderbolt. The other solutions, yes, the different levels and different products. The BenQ, very good level. If you want to stay into intermediate, it is a must. I will explain how I have done the software color calibration, how you can obtain consistency, but there is no such thing as a free lunch. I have spent an enormous amount of time and effort but it helped me to understand and to learn, yes, to deep dive into the understanding and learning the color spaces and everything. But the amount of effort and fragmentation of the process is what is happening if you using the low cost solutions. It is indescribable. It is endless process of development, of improvement, of whatever you want. But it is not a free lunch. And software, reference software in the industry. This is my sensor. Those are the comparison between the sensors. I have this one, the intermediate, and it is good till 3000 nits. You need to get, if you need to do the absolute top and calibrate HDR, very high brightness, you need to point to the top. There is no shortcut. This is 10,000 nits, the plus. But those three sensors, this I will not even consider it. It is included in some of the ASUS hardware calibration, but let's ignore it exists. Only those two. Cannot understand the level of those two levels. The one of the Calman, their proprietary sensor, is 5000 nits. It's not, we haven't reached this level of brightness of yet, so it is an existent problem. But just to let to keep in mind that you need to use adequate tools and the range of functionality that you are pointing to be able to calibrate. This is for the monitor, this is for the sensor, and especially valid for the I/O device. I will separate the process. One is the user interface optimization. Brief. This video will be brief. It's not be endless as usual, 3 hours. It will be just overview. One part of the process is the user interface optimization, and the part that is inside inside those menu. Let me put the glasses that I cannot see. When you optimize, what I have discovered last week, that the endless talking about the color consistency, I personally have discovered for me that it works, and it is middle ground if I color calibrate locally the monitor, optimizing it within, so it will be a little bit messy. The process with optimization of the user interface. What I have discovered that if it is I'm now in mirroring with Blackmagic Atem Mini Extreme, I will not be able to see this thing on to show, probably. No, it is visible. But what I have optimized, this is not the color calibration, color accuracy calibration for DaVinci. This is only for the user interface. I have done, and it gives the results. If you have Windows, in my case, I use Windows Server Data Center 2022. Just, you need to optimize your interface that you are using as a user interface monitor. I have done difference, and the better results, if you like it or not, is RGB full. It is night and day with between the other that is limited, and the shadows are completely different. This is one aspect. You need to put it this way and use your software of reference that you can choose between DisplayCAL, that is free, and our salvation to being able to have some color calibration in as a humans, because obviously the reference software, industry reference software, Calman in light illusion, and you have to have budget. I have thrown 150,000 in 10 years for VMware on conferences, and it was completely waste. And who knows, I should have invested in broadcast. And once you start the calibration and use one of those softwares that is Calman, this is I'm using the evaluation. You can evaluate your state of calibration with the Calman evaluation. Completely evaluate. You can reach to the end of the measurement of DeltaE, but you cannot calibrate, obviously. You cannot generate 3D LUTs except for the high-level license, which is the only way to do it with DaVinci Resolve, because you need those LUTs to save here inside. The separate thing is if you use monitors that have the functionality, and that's why you need to invest at certain level. The minimum common denominator for reference monitor, a part of my low-cost solution, low-cost, is the solution that supports certainly hardware, possibility of hardware calibration, and possibility to save through the integration of the software different profiles with different LUTs. Because if you use an external box with it generates a massive amount of different points of tweakings, tunings, risk to something to set wrong. It's getting it opens the Pandora box, basically. And this is what I have done. I have opened the Pandora box and I have done my investment was in two I/O devices of Blackmagic Intensity Pro that I'm currently, let's show off. I'm currently recording a part of here in my ATEM Mini. I'm recording uncompressed UV 10 bits, everything. As usual, I'm doing that way. Intensity Pro, that was the first one. What is the issue with Intensity Pro? It's not HDR. You don't have Rec 2020, and it is much lower given the fact that it is more the older version of those I/O device. The calibration process with I have used the I'm missing my thought. So it this DisplayCAL. I'm using this software. Now it is resetting my profile. That's you have the blink, but with this I've been able to calibrate for myself because the others I don't have the license and I'm not in possibility to invest 2,000, 3,000 per year initially. And with Calman, you need to pay 10 20% every year to keep the license open and running. With DisplayCAL, you have, let's say, 90% of the functionalities. And you need to set for DaVinci Resolve, especially for DaVinci Resolve this, if it is for your local monitor, user interface monitor, you need to select, if you are Rec 709, you need to select this video, D65 Rec 709, and this is basically the 8086 is Gamma 2.4. And you go through the entire process. What I have discovered that when I calibrate the monitor locally for the user interface, I need to generate, and you need to enforce it here. You need to generate. I'm generating 65 3D lot, 65 per 65 per 65. It works. You need to generate and save. And for the viewer, in order to see and find a solution about the viewers, you need to insert here, separated into this field here. Color viewer lookup table. And you have the consistent, I have done a couple of weeks of tests, and in my case, color calibration is not precise science. You need to test, to tweak, to find your solution that works for you. For example, I'm against any rules in order to function even with bright light and everything. I personally prefer it because my monitors are IPS. I'm breaking all the rules. I'm calibrating them between 180 and 200 nits for Rec 709. I'm not doing color correcting professionally. I can do it, but if you need to do it absolutely at the professional very high level, you need to follow all the standards and everything. And now I was talking about when you set this, when you have created the LUT and the profile, and it is constantly interfering, that's why it's not precise science. But inside the viewer, I have discovered that it is much more precise and realistic if I have created the 3D LUT for the viewer. In other case with Mac could be different, but in my case it's functionally that way. The same, and you don't use the process. In this case, you don't use the process through DaVinci. You only insert here for the viewer the 3D LUT because it is for the user interface. When you do for this one, and I don't have monitor that I can save the profile and the color space and to choose it on the monitor button, I need to create this another 3D LUT through DaVinci Resolve as a pattern generator. And there is this part is missing in the community. I have done a lot of research in order to find out exactly how it is, but this is simple, but it is essential. You need, absolutely must, you need to select the color page, and from here you need to select monitor calibration, and you should choose even light. I have chosen one of the two. It works basically. You need to insert IP address when it is not the correct super one-to-one guide, but just to gain vision of how it works. Inside DisplayCAL or inside the other software, you need to insert, when you choose DaVinci Resolve, in Calman you can use DaVinci Resolve with any kind, DaVinci Resolve as a pattern generator, with basically without the licenses, but you cannot calibrate inside DaVinci except with the highest level that has the 3D LUTs generation enabled, this workflow. And you choose here that this is explicit options. Those here, the last two. Resolve the color space, and one is for the Rex 709, the other is for HDR. When you select this, you need to connect basically DaVinci Resolve with this program via network. And I will not do the entire part of demo. There is endless video, but it starts to use DaVinci Resolve, this window, generating the patterns that, based on your options that you have chosen, it generates a lot or less. It could go on for 4 hours. But what I was talking about at the beginning, the quality of the I/O device is essential. I was doing not less than 2 hours and a half, even 3, with intensity at the beginning, and you just cannot. It takes years. And you need to optimize. This is in every software, high level, even this, that is, the development has stopped in 2019, but it is still like, you can still do really good level of calibration. You need to optimize those here at the beginning in order to reduce the time. In my HDMI, every hop of HDMI, I have double, triple, endless validated. It is 37 microseconds. If you put here 20 microseconds or 40 microseconds instead of 1 second, 1000, you can dramatically reduce your time of the calibration, the entire process. You need to just insert, let's say, 20 milliseconds. The software will automatically adapt after that based on the real delay of it will autocorrect after that. It will catch up if there is a discrepancy and it needs more. It will add exactly the time that it needs within the process. And from taking like forever, now I'm doing around 40 minutes, and it is standard 40 minutes, the same level and kind of calibration that before was some hours, 2, 3, 4 hours. You need to optimize. This is in Calman under. I cannot show the Calman the full menus because I will need to connect the probe. It is a lot of work that will not have the necessary quality. Here in one of those menus, you can optimize many of the aspects of the process. In one of those there is I cannot see in one of those there is the timing that you can optimize. It is the same process, and Calman is calling them workflows for all the monitors and everything. And if you need to do the 3D LUTs inside DaVinci Resolve to save it inside, you need this enabled, and this is enabled with the highest level of license. On the Calman website there is for sure the guidance, especially into the knowledge base. It is very rich and essential source of information. Under the knowledge base, you can find basically for all the monitors that lastly have released, and all the new that has been constantly released, you will find there the specific information about that. One thing about Calman, if I have already said or not, those from Calibrite are not officially supported, even though they work. By Calman, they are not officially supported. The only one that I have discovered as a type of colorimeter, I cannot pronounce it, is their they're basically the same OM. In my opinion, the original producer is the same because they all look absolutely the same. But the firmware and personalization is different. The sensor of Calman is working only with Calman. With the last versions forward, you cannot use it with the others. About the software of the Calibrite, I'm not considering it as a solution. It is very bad software. I don't know why. It is. They have the only job that they need to do is to support this software. If you go here, where is the last one that I downloaded yesterday, maybe, is 3.004. If you have installed 3.02 and there is a menu that you can choose update software, it is not updating to the very last. Yes, I manually updated to the last version, but it is not perfect work with Calibrite. And the part of release nodes to the level of 3.0.1. What's happened at 3.0.2, 3, 4, what has been updated, only they knows. It's not a solution. It is. I have tried at least 10 times, so I have invested basically a week calculating the longest calibration will take hours. I have done it again and again and again. This produces really bad solution, even for the monitor. It's not usable, basically. About light illusion, I would like to be able to test it. I haven't been able never to test it. It has the requirement that you need to buy the license. I respect this, and when I will have returning the money to be rich like crazy, I will invest. I am assuring you that I will buy the license. But this is one of the top level. It is integrated. The two softwares that are in as a baseline inside DaVinci are those two. I'm constantly light illusion and Calman. You can see this menu, monitor calibration, is getting activated only and only in the case that you select the color page. I have struggled to find how I can activate this. This is activating only this way. You select the color page and this is getting activated. And you can returning to the IO device. You need obviously to have set it here in this. I can use I will not touch now that you will break my recording. You can fine tune here, and if you need anything beyond Rec 709, you need to get mandatory the level, there are only few that are still only to Rec 709. The oldest I/O devices of Blackmagic one is Intensity Pro, and few more that I don't know if they are even on sale somewhere. But you need to ensure that the range that you trying to reach, HDR or SDR, you need to completely satisfy the, it is like in electronics, it is in IT, in everything. You need to satisfy this requirement end to end, and every point from the sensor to be able to reach this kind of brightness, this kind of color. Data color, I will not choose. I will strongly this way to get data color sensors. They are very low grade. They are only good for the monitors, not for DaVinci Resolve and color grading. So to return a little bit of structure, you need to see here. You can see my second I/O device that I got is this DeckLink Mini Monitor 4K. For the fact that it is much larger color space with better color support, HDMI 2, and bit deep color with 12-bit, I don't know, with intensity. The reduction has been dramatic, really dramatic. This really works very well, and you see the quality of the capability to calibrate is improving dramatically, because it is working much better. So Intensity Pro, I have started with that, but it is the where is Intensity Pro? It is consumer grade I/O device basically, and you can see here that there is HDMI 1.4, and it is still deep color, but it is 10-bit, and the color space is Rec 709, here. So you need to guarantee the requirements. Next step. What I have chosen. I bought at first this one. This is very easy going, but the panel are excellent. They don't have white bleeding. They're super consistent. Those two. First I've got this one, and strangely enough, the better monitor, I cannot stand it to work on Windows with optimized. It shows too much details on the Windows that the Windows interface is not done to produce this level of accuracy. It's ugly. The refinement of the menus are not at such level, so I'm using the lower level. This one is perfect. They are with 10 bits and frame rate control. This is a little bit as motion pictures, the same aspect. Through the EDID, Extended Display Identification data, the monitor is identified as 10-bit capable, and the signal is 10-bit, real 10-bit. What is doing is the monitor that is emulating, showing a certain portion of the colors, changing constantly the colors, that your perception about the colors is much more, almost identical as a 10-bit. It is not the same as a 10-bit, but it is near to 10 bits perception. And from the standpoint of the signal and the system, how it's treated, the signal, it is 10-bit. It is recognized 10-bit. The monitor is doing the other part of emulating, showing for brief period of time different colors in order to bypass this limitation. So it is good level of workaround. And I bought initially ProArt at a low level solutions. They were much worse from this panel. Much worse. There was bleeding, there was inaccuracy, there is shifting, very low quality. The entry level of ProArt, I 1,000 times prefer this solution. Those monitors, and this is the struggle with the low level, basically consumer base, good consumer level monitor, that they don't have the personalization of their prefabricated values of the Rec 709 of the HDR. You cannot reset them, change them, save different profiles. It only works one color space at a time that you need to calibrate with the custom options. It is impossible to save anything inside, and this is the big issue actually, because it's not enough to change the LUT. You need to calibrate it again. Let's suppose you calibrate this kind of monitor. It has only one custom profile. You calibrate it to Rec 709, create your beautiful 3D LUT and saving it inside DaVinci Resolve or inside a converter that Blackmagic converter that I will show them briefly, that you can some of those, usually the bidirectional 6G and 12G, and some of the SDI to HDMI have the option to save the LUT inside. The big issue with the monitor is always the same, that you cannot change the LUT and have the output that is correct. You need to, if the monitor has at least two personalized different profiles that you can switch, it's feasible. Otherwise you need to one-to-one to calibrate, create the 3D LUT, save it inside DaVinci Resolve or inside the device that is in the middle. Can be absolutely the inside DaVinci Resolve. I am using 65 per 65 per 65 3D LUT, and it works. Inside those devices, I haven't bought yet one, but the maximum LUT is 33 per 33 per 30. They cannot manage this big level of 3D LUT. And this is the biggest limitation, that you cannot change at the difference of the intermediate and high quality, that you can the process requires that before any color calibration, you absolutely must, because for the better result, you need to reset to the initial state, to the fabric level. Otherwise, if you fine-tune, change the calibration that has already been done, it's not good. You need to start for the start. Every time, if you obtain not good result, you need every time to reset the profile. And even how to call process with the advanced solutions, there is a point of the process that requires the profile of the certain color space needs to be reset, deleted basically, in order to recreate the other. And this is the big limitation that I'm discovering, that not having the possibility to save inside the monitor is you pay it with a lot of knowledge that you need to have, mandatory knowledge, in order to compensate what is missing as work done by the vendors and the level of fine-tune. And every time, with every change, you need to do this circus again from the very start, because it is enormous work. It is days of works. That's why if it's your business, professional, your profession, and time is money. But if you have the budget, definitely need to invest at the top level. I'm not selling here the low level design, the low level of device, but it is workaround. If I'm not able to get the FlandersScientific that I would like to, I'm getting my beautiful LG. What I have discovered yesterday, the other day, with LG, those are IPS, and it is beautiful panel, very good quality, but it has consistent bleeding of the black level. It is very high black. It is 0 200 almost, or 0 150. It is enormous. Basically the entire my profile is shifted with high level of shadows. And what I have discovered, if I calibrate those for Rec 709 at 100 nits, it's getting much worse result on the black level. Instead, if I am calibrating it for 200, 400, the black level, initial black level is 0 to 100. For 200 nits, the initial black level is that is obtained, that I'm measuring, is 150, and there is a difference, I can assure you. So for IPS low quality, forcing it with higher brightness, it compensates certain inefficiency. And I'm getting much better result with the DeltaE 1.6 for only for the blue. For the rest is 0.5. But for the blue hue, it's 1.5. If I calibrated it for 100 nits, I'm getting much worse result. I'm getting delta around 2.5. So those are aspects that you need to only through the test discover how you need to optimize, and based in on your preferences and how you want to make it look. For the high level, I'm perfectly conscious, as I'm not trying to teach anyone on the professional necessity for color calibration, and that those levels of monitors are necessary to reach certain levels, and when you need only to work on this and not on the color calibration, because yes, you need to have the awareness, you need to have, in my opinion, it's mandatory, the knowledge of the processes, how you can optimize end-to-end and calibrate. But those levels of monitors are gold, because you can switch between different color spaces, you can match one-to-one. In a year, you basically, what you need to spend with the low quality, low level fine-tuning and tweeting is a month of tweeting. Here is basically you are always on the go and you are absolutely crushing it, always at the best. So the minimum is the medium level, the starting of the professional level. It is start around, in this case, 1,500, 600, 5,000, more and more. But it is inescapable. You need to invest in that in order to obtain and have all the functionalities. There is no shortcut. And what I was collimator profile, like I have the amount of, yeah, I will skip this. I have invested everything on the lowest of the lowest budget, use it as a new, and I have obtained it. This thing costs 260 maybe in euros. I paid it 160 as a new, the same as for the two I/O devices. Instead of 260, I paid 160. The monitor 4K, I paid even use it as a new 120. I was, and even in that case that I have a super optimized, I spent something like 1,000 euros for everything, for the two monitors, cables, I/O devices, everything. The lower cost is not so low cost because it's 1,000. Pardon. If you need to go further, you need to obviously invest much higher, 10,000, 10 times more, even more. This is it. And this is in briefly that I had to say. If you have some questions or some other things, please write in the comments. I think that for my necessity, I have reached extremely good level of color accuracy awareness. I have here the field monitor that has dramatically changed my life with how I'm doing everything, and step by step, I still don't color calibrate because I haven't reached that. So my uh, objective is to fine tune the entire scene that is basically 90% good. This let's show off I have written before. This is my first time that I'm using my new color profile. I like it. It is much more natural, good color, skin color. It is much less saturated that was before, and this is thanks with the process of the evolution of my perception of the colors and of the colors calibration and accuracy. And now we stop this. It is 7 months is a lot of time to do the pause in live production because you basically need to rediscover everything. I've had to recreate I'm preparing the outro. I'm using, let's show here, for the good people of DaVinci Resolve. I'm using DaVinci Resolve as a hyperdeck, basically. What is the issue with using DaVinci as a player? And I am using here Speed Editor as a play stop. The only issue that I'm finding, when you start the video, there is a few seconds that it struggles with the frame per second. It's all the production is 25 frames per second. If I start here, the first few seconds it struggles, and it is not starting from the point when I have set. It is basically skipping a few frames. This is the issue only for using it as a player. And if it is okay, I'm preparing here. We will see it soon, I hope, with other videos. I will do based on, I will return a little bit to produce about the IT use cases that from the very start of my live production, I have ignored it. But I will return there. And this is good enough return. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. I probably have skipped something of what I wanted to say, but it will be another one. It's very difficult to return in live production from the very start after 7 months. I'm assuring you, it is crazy difficult. We will see you soon again. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And to the next.
Alqubit, IT as an expression of art. Alqubit, IT as an expression of art. Alqubit, IT, as an expression of art.